Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and today we're going to take a look at what are possibly the most comfortable earbuds I've ever worn, and they've got a few more tricks up their sleeve. Let's take a look at the 1MORE Comfobuds Pro. Keep watching to find out more. Okay, so in today's video we'll be taking a look at the 1MORE Comfobuds Pro. This is an active noise cancelling set of in-ear buds. Lots of features, lots of specs. I will be putting some links in the video description so you can check them out in more detail, but essentially what you're looking at is an extremely long life battery. We're looking at roughly about 28 hours of battery runtime, including the actual charging case that it comes with, the individual buds themselves, around about 6 hours with the ANC turned off, about 4 hours with it turned on. Obviously your mileage will vary depending on your volume levels, etc. USB Type-C charging, which is absolutely awesome. We've got things like fast pairing, automated, everything. Essentially, they just work, which makes life so much easier. Also, there aren't a plethora of crazy kind of tap commands you have to do in order to work the damn things out. Essentially, it's a press to play and pause, 2 presses to answer or reject a phone call, 3 taps to bring up your assistant on your phone. So depending on which phone, Android or iOS, it will bring up the assistant, and then you can tell it to turn the volume up, turn the volume down, play the next track, all those kinds of things. So they've taken those features away from the buds themselves to make it as simple as possible. Now another thing you can do as well is you can press and hold on the buds themselves to change between the particular modes that are available. So this has got active noise cancelling. So wouldn't it be great if you're walking down the street and it originally sounds like this. So wouldn't it be good if you could walk down that same street and it sounded a little bit more like this? And that is essentially what these do. Active noise cancelling, but there's various levels as well. There is also a passive mode as well, so it'll actually amplify the things around you and pump it back through the earphones. So if you're maybe studying at home, these are going to be great because you can block out the outside world altogether, listen to some relaxing music or some music which you use for that kind of stuff. Or if you're on a particular call or something, you can use the noise cancelling features to block out the surrounding environment if you're in a slightly noisy place. We actually tried these in our local park and went for a walk, and we're trying out various different things, and the effect is absolutely, it is mind-blowing. It really is. I actually tried it in home and it was like, okay, yeah, I don't really see the deal. It's when you actually go outside and there is a lot of ambient noise which you don't often kind of pick up. If you go to a park, you've got things like birds, pigeons, screaming kids, motors, vehicles, ambulances, all that kind of stuff, which really do interfere with what you're doing. You don't realise until you actually isolate it how intrusive that actually is. So we've got a few different modes of noise cancelling which we'll go through later when we take a look at the app, but essentially there's a few different ones. One of the better ones actually, which does not happen on a lot of devices, is the wind cancelling mode. So if you've used earbuds before, you'll know that obviously if you're walking along, especially if you're in the park or something, you've got an open area, maybe walking along cliff tops, whatever, enjoying yourselves on your holidays, the wind coming towards you always gets to those earbuds and kind of goes in around them, and you get that kind of whistling noise. Now if you've got your music loud, it isn't a problem, but if you're listening to maybe a podcast, spoken word, that kind of thing, it can be really annoying. So these actually have got a wind noise feature reduction in them as well, which, yeah, is an absolute game changer for earbuds. Anyway, that's enough of the specs and me waxing lyrical about them. Let's see what we actually get and work out if they're actually right for you. So first of all, looking at the packaging, as you can see here, so you've got the 1MORE logo. These were actually the winner of the 2021 CES Award for Musical Innovation. They've been tuned, the speakers themselves, by, I can't remember the name of the person, but someone who actually does that kind of thing for a living. They are into music, so they've tuned the drivers and the mics and all that kind of stuff to make them sound as good as they possibly can for the form factor, and they certainly do seem to. So on the bottom there, it does talk about other things. So it says you've got 3 mic AI powered environmental noise cancellation. Now there are 3 mics per bud, so 6 mics in total to give you that surround sound and pick up on various different parts of what is going on around you. So there's like a talking mic at the bottom, which is for your phone calls, that kind of thing, and also picks up information. There's one actually on the outside on the strip, which we'll probably see from some cutaways. And also there's one on the inner side as well, so it kind of registers what is going on in your inner ear as well. So by taking measurements from all those together, and using sophisticated AI, they can actually work out what noises you're supposed to be hearing and which noises you don't want to be hearing. They do also have a 13.4mm driver in there. Again, this has been super tuned. They've got all kinds of different components. I'll put some stuff on the screen now so you can see exactly how that is all made up. But essentially it just makes it so that it's got a really, really nice sound. It isn't an overly inflated sound or a synthetic sound. It just sounds really nice and really natural. Another really cool feature, which we do often see these days, is a quick charge feature. So 15 minutes quick charge will give you around about 2 hours worth of usage, which for those of you that maybe forget to charge your buds or you're quickly going out unexpectedly but you're going for a run or whatever, then yeah, 15 minutes, time to go and brush your teeth, go to the toilet, and then you're ready to go and your earbuds will be charged. On the back of the box, it goes into some more information about the technical specifications, charge times, etc. with ANC on or off. I'll give you a close-up of that so you can pay more attention to that in greater detail. Feel free to pause it at any time and you can read off the specs. On the side of the box, more information. So we've got 20-hour playtime. You've also got a pass-through feature, as it says there, which we talked about earlier, and also the auto pairing and also kind of play and pause. So if you take one of the buds out of your ear, if someone's maybe come to talk to you and you can't be bothered to get the mobile out to change the mode of ANC, just take it out of your ear and it will pause whatever's playing. So yeah, pretty cool feature. And obviously when you put it back into your ear, the playback will resume. So let's take a look now and see what we actually get in the packaging. So opening up the packaging, this is what we get. So you've got some installation guides and usage guides all there. This plastic carton on the front tells you more about the touch controls. So it does say there, phone calls, playback and listening modes can be controlled by tapping the touch control area of the headphone. Phone call, answer, end call, double tap as we said. Voice control on cell phone, so tap 3 times. Playback, play pause, double tap. And to change the listening modes between ANC strong, mild, weak, wind noise reduction, etc. Press and hold and you get some audio feedback actually in the buds themselves to know which level you're actually at. You can configure these buttons as well in the software, which is on the phone, which is available for Android or iOS. You can go into the app and you can configure that to your own liking. So maybe you don't want double tap to do a certain thing, maybe you don't want triple tap to do a certain thing, you can go ahead and change it, and it's customizable between the left and the right bud as well. So tons and tons of control. Again, we'll take a look at that in the app a little bit later. So let's remove the plastic cover and take a look at what we get inside. So again, it tells you about how to actually take them out of the box, which is actually really handy because it isn't actually obvious. So that is the actual unit itself, very small, actually really cool looking. It's very rounded edges as well, so you can stick it in your pocket and it's not going to kind of cause any damage to any of your nether regions, so that's really cool. Fits in pretty much most pockets, obviously shirt pocket, jean pocket, even comb pocket. On the back you've got the One More logo and also the USB Type-C charging port. On the front there's an LED, which is a charging LED, and it changes colour depending on the level of the actual charge in the capsule itself. So kind of green is fully charged, amber is not so charged, and red is charge me quick. Very, very cool. And opening up, you can see you've got the buds actually in there, and at the moment you can see they're in pairing mode, so flashing lights when they're pairing, red lights at the moment because it's not paired or connected to anything else. You can, if you want to, you can reset them as well, so if the pairing goes a little bit squiffy for some reason, you can press and hold the button on the front there for a certain amount of time and it will reset all the pairings, all that kind of stuff. But to actually take them out of the box, this is actually a really cool thing, which a lot more manufacturers should do, and that is all you do is press on the stalk itself and it actually raises the bud up slightly, so it actually makes it a little bit easier to take out of the box. Absolutely brilliant. So just press on that and they come out really easily. They are magnetic as well, so when you're putting them back in, they do charge. There's charging ports on the back there and also the ear sensor, very much like what you get obviously with the Apple equivalents. All the charging ports are all gold plated as well, so literally all you do, put it back in, the magnet kind of sucks it into the recess there and it will begin the charging. Now you can if you want to, you don't have to use 2 at the same time, which kind of makes the noise cancelling a little bit pointless, because obviously noise cancelling you'd need both in really, because otherwise you can hear stuff from one ear or the other. But sharing is caring, so if you want to give one of these to your friend and you're on the bus or whatever, or on a trip and you want to listen to music, both of you, then you can do. You can use them individually, or you can obviously use them as a pair, which is their primary intention. So that works really nicely. Again, the magnet works extremely well, and pressing that to pull them out is excellent. So they do come included with 4 sets of ear tips as well, so if you want to change those, I would actually recommend that you do. When I first took them out of the box, they were, I think, with possibly the medium size on there, and I found that the sound wasn't what I was expecting. They sounded a little bit lacking, or lackluster, which I wasn't expecting. I was thinking, for something which costs this kind of money, which at the moment in the UK, these retail for somewhere in the region of about £80. There is a white set and a black set, so you can choose an appropriate colour should you wish. For around about £80, I was expecting more, I'll be completely honest with you. So I went ahead and changed the tips over, which is actually very easy to do. What we do is just pull those off, and there is kind of like a oblong in there, which actually holds the tip in place very well. And changing the tips made a huge amount of difference. As soon as the ear canal was properly sealed, the ANC really did come to life. The bass reproduction in various tracks, of course I did go through the MUB playlist for headsets, which we'll link in the video description, so if you want to listen to some of the tracks that I've been listening to actually work out if these are any good or not, you can go ahead and check that lot out and let me know what you think of my playlist. Anyway, I digress. So, very good quality plastics, very strong, etc. I think they look pretty cool. I'm not too sure about the length of the stalks. That is the one thing which possibly for me as a kind of a cosmetic thing is a little bit, I don't know, maybe they could have been a little bit shorter. But the whole point of these, hence the name, Comfobuds, I think they're called Comfobuds? Comfobuds rather, I do apologise. One more, please forgive me. So, regardless what they call them, they are extremely comfortable. Now the way that they've made the oval for the ear, it just makes total sense, because the bit that goes in your ear isn't round. It's very unlikely that that part of your ear is going to be round. So actually tailoring these to fit the human ear, hallelujah, why has somebody else not done that before? They always seem to be round on all of these devices. They've also made the section here completely rounded and completely smooth. So the bit of your ear which is actually rounded, or potentially is likely to be rounded, doesn't need to be completely sealed in that section. It needs to be sealed around this bit, which actually seals the ear canal. So when you put them in, they are extremely comfortable. So my voice might have changed now. I'm not going to put them both in at the same time because it just sounds too weird because everything gets blocked out. But actually, I think they look really good. They are a little bit on the long side. Some people might be a bit kind of, it's a little bit Star Trek. But we're in 2021, hell, why not be a little bit Star Trek with your design choices these days? I actually really like them. They are super comfy. Even if you're one of those people that chews gum or maybe you're eating, they don't seem to want to creep out of your ear, which is a downside of a lot of these other earbuds. And I think that again comes down to the design of those tips. I think that is one of the key things which separates these from the rest of the pack. The fact that we've got those oval buds in there, or oval bud tips rather, it just makes all the difference. And doing the shake test, they literally do not want to move. They're actually quite lightweight, which you don't normally expect. Because of the size of them, you'd expect them to be a little bit heavier, but they are actually extremely comfy, hence the name, and they're very, very lightweight, which kind of the two work together absolutely perfectly. I'll be honest with you, when they reached out to me and said, Mike, do you want to take a look at these? I looked at them and I thought, no, not really, I don't. I genuinely, that is my genuine thoughts, and I hope you appreciate me being brutally honest with you on this. But I did, I looked at them first of all, I thought, well, here we go, just another set of earbuds. There's nothing here which I can see which is any different. But I'm actually really glad I did take a look at them. They do feel great. The design quality is excellent. You've got the mic on the outside there, so that is registering the outside world. There is a microphone built into the bottom, tiny little pinhole there at the bottom, so that is what picks up your voice when you're in a telephone call. And I gotta say, telephone call quality is excellent. I'll give you a quick cutaway here of a conversation I did, a brief demo earlier. Called Kath on the phone and I was up in a room upstairs, so if I sounded a little bit out of breath it's because I just ran up the stairs. So let's take a listen to that.
Hi, this is Mike from Unboxing Reviews and How To, and this is a sound test of the 1MORE Comfobuds Pro. And just to let you know what they sound like, this is me up in the bedroom, probably a little bit of echo going on, but hopefully it sounds pretty clear, pretty crisp. You can hear what I'm saying. These buds do have noise cancelling to some extent, but not so much for obviously calls, more for when you're actually listening to music. So this is a test of the Comfobuds Pro. I've been Mike, this is Monthly Unboxing Reviews and How To. Back to the video.
So there you go, the sound quality is excellent. In calls it sounds great, so you can have no problems there using it in calls. If you want to use it in things like Zoom or Skype, that kind of stuff, totally possible. These will work with a Bluetooth adapter. They are Bluetooth 5.0. They have got noise cancelling. They're IPX4 rated, so kind of waterproof. Probably not a good idea to wear them in the shower, but if you're caught out in a shower, a little bit of rain, a little bit of snow maybe, whatever, it's going to be absolutely fine, so no worries there. And they've actually been quite clever because the microphone is actually pointing kind of downward a little bit as well. So if for some reason there was some moisture which actually got to it, it is essentially sealed anyway. So yeah, no worries there. So like I said, 4 types of earbuds. We should take a look actually to see what we get in the accessories box. So this is the main accessories box. So there is a USB Type-C charging cable included, which you kind of expect these days. This is a nice feature which actually will probably come in quite useful. So this is a little kind of silk carry bag. I don't think it's real silk, it's probably a nylon or something, but you've got a drawstring on there so you can put your buds in the bag. If you don't want to actually just leave them as they are, stick them in there and stick that in your coat, jacket, your bag or something. Again, excellent for if you're traveling, put them in a bag, just keep them a little bit safer and prevent this outer section getting scratched. It is finished in a kind of satin matte finish. There's a very slight sheen to it. It's not a glossy finish, so I think even if you do get a few dings or knocks in there, it isn't going to be the end of the world. And realistically, they are doing the job of protecting what's inside. I think it's more important that the inside is protected than the actually outside. But yeah, nice magnetic hinge on there. Seems to be quite weather sealed in that respect. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So that's the bag. We've got the USB cable. In here also there is, if I can find them, there is the tips. Again, probably see that from some cutaways, but you get a selection of tips in there. So large, medium, small, etc, etc. So 4 different sizes. Absolutely great. They do provide also a teddy bear style sticker. Not entirely sure about that, but still, thank you. There is a QR code as well, so if you want to download the software, you can go to the iOS store, you can go to the Android Play Store, you just type in 1more. If you do 1more Advanced Sound Technology, I think it is, that will take you straight in there. There are other 1more companies out there, so yeah, do be aware of that, but you can, of course, if you want to, just scan the QR code, which is awesome. And there is a Encyclopedia Britannica of instructions in various different languages. So if there's anything that you're unsure of, which to be honest with you, this is probably a little bit pointless. Again, QR codes everywhere, so getting the app on your phone is going to be an extremely simple thing to do. So talking of the app, that takes us quite nicely into the next segment. So let's take a look at the app and see what it's like. Okay, so this has not gone as intended. So unfortunately, it appears you cannot screen record with this app running. So whether there's a bug in this, I may have to let them know about this. Not something I've come across before. Normally I can screen record no problem at all. So as you can see, currently I've got this set to pass-through mode, so I can actually hear what I'm saying. But this is what the app looks like. So you've got your percentages for your battery there on the left and the right hand side, and also for the actual charging unit. And you can go through and change your settings. So if I turn this into wind noise, you get a slight indication through the headset. Oh, that sounds weird now indoors. You've got mild and strong. Strong is very weird. It does sound insane. I can only imagine this would be something like what it would be like if you were a person with hearing difficulties. That kind of isolation, especially when there's nothing else going on. But it is blocking out essentially everything. I can barely hear myself talk. It's very, very unusual. So let's turn that off. So that is into, oh, that's better. So that's in normal mode. Let's go with pass through because that sounds more natural when you're actually trying to record things. And it actually sounds pretty crisp, pretty clear. So again, I do apologise if you can't quite see this. It's very difficult to record the screen when you can't do screen recording. So you've got smart playback. So you've got automatic play and pause. You can choose to turn that on, auto pause and play, or no smart playback, sorry. You've got custom settings there, so you can choose what the buttons do for the touch and hold, the double tap and the tap 3 times. and at the bottom you've got a quick guide to the product. There's also other things you can do in here. There is got a cool feature, so there is a smart burn-in, which some of you may know about. So what you can do is go into smart burn-in, and it basically burns in the drivers in the headphones to basically make them ready, so they're suitable for listening to. So there is a really long burn-in process which goes through, I think it's about kind of 11 hours or something crazy. So maybe you might want to do that to get the full representation. But I actually found this to be really good without doing it, so I haven't gone through that. It tells you basically why you should do it, etc, etc. So anyway, there is the app and the features. I think the main thing is going to be the ANC, which is very handy. But of course you can access it just by pressing and holding should you wish to. So that's a quick look at the app itself. Sorry it wasn't better footage. Very, very odd. I've never had that before where I couldn't actually screen record whilst using an app before. But anyway, we'll check out with one more and see what the deal is there. Maybe it just needs a reboot, I don't know. But the key thing here is, so who are these actually designed for? So audio quality wise, yes, excellent, very natural sounding. They don't have that kind of crazy overinflated or out of control bass. They just feel really nice, tight, rounded, warm, all that kind of stuff. The mid-range and the highs are completely neutral. So you can obviously adjust it, EQ it if you want to. I would imagine this is what good quality headphones would sound like. Obviously I've reviewed all sorts over the years. Some have been good, some have been less good, some have been particularly loud. And actually these are quite loud. That is one thing I would say, they are quite loud. So if you like your louder music, then these are going to be great. And obviously because they are kind of both passive and active noise cancelling, you can get a really good seal into the eardrum. Make sure you get the right ear tips. That is very, very important to get the best out of these. But yeah, who are they for? So I think these are, well, actually for everybody. If you've got the money and you're thinking of spending around about the £100 mark on a decent set of earbuds, I think these are definitely worth taking a look at. Now, I did notice on Amazon.co.uk there is currently an offer on these where they reduce them down slightly. So there is a voucher code. I'll put some links in the video description so you can check those out and see what the best prices are, etc, etc. It's a difficult one. I think if you are one of those people that goes out and about and you're out walking, that kind of stuff, you're just out enjoying the countryside but still listening to music and you don't want to be disturbed, then these are great. The active noise cancelling is going to come in really handy. If you're someone who's a little bit more, not paranoid, but a little bit more concerned about your surroundings whilst you're outside, then having the pass-through mode on actually is quite beneficial. So you can hear everything that's going on around you quite clearly and quite normally, as if you aren't wearing some headphones, but you can also hear your music as well at the same time. So I think they do fit and suit pretty much everybody. So if you just use them in normal mode, they're just going to sound great. If you want to use them in the noise cancelling mode, they're going to sound great even if you're in the middle of a traffic jam or whatever. So yeah, if you're a commuter and you're on the morning train or the bus, or you're going away somewhere on a coach, you're just with the family and you just want a little bit of isolation, these definitely do come out as actually some of my favourite buds I've ever tested. And I didn't think I was going to say that, especially when I first looked at them. So let me know what you think about these in the video description below. Are you someone who is concerned more with style and looks over sound quality and usability? Or are you someone who doesn't like spending money and you'll go for something cheap and cheerful just to get the job done? Let me know. I'll be interested to hear what your thoughts are in that comment section. I think that's going to wrap this one up. Overall, I would say if I was to give these a rating out of 5, they've got to be a definite 4, possibly even a 4.5. There's very little to dislike about them other than, I would say, for me as a cheapskate would be the price and potentially the length of the kind of the pillars on the side. But ultimately, they're extremely comfortable, they sound great, and they've got tons of flexibility. So yeah, very highly rated in my opinion. So I've been Mike, this is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.